Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Opportunity. Our scientific mission is straightforward. Examine the space around, monitor the surface of, and perhaps lead a team into the Anomaly at Sector A98. Tune in to hear John Garlick run the adventure with Jay Duguay, John Kennedy, Justin Wiggy, myself, and a host of special guests joining us at the table. Galactic adventures begin just after this music.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Gaming with Scott. I'm here with Jay Duguay.
Hey, hey.
I'm here with Josh Jackson.
Hi.
And I'm here with our new storyteller. Take it away, John.
Gosh, Coco.
What?
Yeah. But yeah, okay, so the character generation is done.
Yay!
So to sum up,
For now.
in our pilot episode, it ended with successfully, but unfortunately for some, there was they returned to
Innocence.
where they started.
Shut the hell up! That's hilarious. Oh,
Enigma.
Enigma.
Okay.
Can you tell I just ported all my music over to my car?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I was like, oh, yeah, return to innocence.
God, I haven't listened to that in
Where's
so
the?
long.
I need the Indian. Where's the Indian?
Anyhow, go ahead, John. Don't let we will
Okay.
lead you astray. Don't listen to
my
me.
goodness. All right. So they returned to where they started, where they entered Romulan space.
John doesn't.
And they released the Romulan. They repatriated the Romulan prison guards, but were approached by the prisoners who said, "We are prisoners of conscience. The leader was a Tellarite, one of the little pig guys, who said, "I'm a Federation citizen. Will you rescue me?
No.
Because I was just transporting Romulan dissidents, and they threw me in prison, and they killed them." And I'm a prisoner of conscience. His crew was like various Klingon Empire races who were not, as I recall, not Klingons. I don't. There was like a gorilla.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Gorilla.
He looked a lot like Jackson.
Hey, I am not that hairy.
he is that hairy.
No.
All right, so
Not from the waist up. Stop it.
so as I recall, you sort of did the old dine and dash on Governor Lorat, where he was like, "Okay, so
I
where's
think you're fading out. I think our ship's going through a tunnel.
Oh no! Where's?
Oh no!
We seem to be having subspace interference.
I
Oh,
fiddled with
no.
the vertical hold knob, and I don't think we can
Crinkled gum
And-
wrappers.
Yeah.
And so he was left holding the bag. He
What
got his
is
Romulans
on-
back. Oh, it's the bag. It's crinkly.
No, I think we're losing you.
Oh, it's so much. Sorry, Governor Lorat.
What is on? Oh no! Oh.
And that's how that happened.
Oh, and so you bounced and returned to Federation space.
Yeah, and we thought, well, screw it. This is a one shot, so it's like now we're never going to see these characters again. So I might as well just bone this guy and fly away.
Yeah.
I've had nights
Oh,
like that.
go ahead. What were you going to say?
So anyway,
Yeah.
you even told him, it's like, oh yeah, if you guys just go in with your cloak and device, you could probably clean that planet up pretty well.
Yeah.
The machine won't see you coming. And he was like, oh yes, Captain, thank you very much for your
Thank you.
advice on how to use our cloaking device.
Yeah.
That's going to be his signature quote. He was very sweet about the entire thing when you completely patronized him.
I did.
And then bounced with his political prisoners. So,
It's not like that's going to bite me in the ass.
Never.
Oh, wait.
It's been
all right. So, no,
getting from.
I'm going to punch you.
singing?
I will stab you in the brain if you sing the.
Don't even say it.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Moving
Star
on.
Trek Enterprise
Okay.
theme song.
All right. So, you have been issued a new mission by Starfleet, or you are to rendezvous with with Captain Whitaker and the USS Fahrenheit. and proceed to Site A98. Site A98 is an area of scientific interest where there is a task force of Federation and Klingon scientists studying a new potential permanent wormhole.
Whoa. This is going to end poorly. Okay.
The possible permanent wormhole is...
What system is A98 in?
It is in deep space, and it happens to be square in the middle of the beta quadrant between Federation, Romulan, and Klingon space. It is uncomfortably close to the Romulan border.
Is it neutral zone close, or
it is not quite neutral zone, but it's like close enough to that they'll be
I see where
looking.
you're going with this. Great.
And
Okay.
so the Romulans being kind of on tilt after their empire lost its central government and being kind of an authoritarian state, issued a statement saying, "Hey, well, don't come in our neutral zone. We'll get really mad." To which the Klingons, naturally being Klingons, were like, "Ha!" and deployed many warships.
Oh, sure.
Because of course that's what they would do.
We
They would be
use-
like, try. Their response was, "Try it, Patak," and deployed a whole bunch of warships.
We'll use your umbilical cords as floss. Bring it.
And so
That's what he got out of Care Jan.
Gross.
Yes.
And so, the Federation is desperate to avoid another costly war, especially because the Dominion War was only 5 years ago.
Right.
And everybody's still kind of rebuilding from that.
Oh, yes.
The Romulans are pretty salty about the whole thing. The Klingons are feeling their oats a little bit, and on the advisement of the Federation, the Starfleet is bringing a crew of diplomats to oversee the situation and smooth over tensions, led by Chief Ambassador Ronaldo Martin, who is Ronaldo Martin
Oh, okay.
is
that Ronaldo.
Whoa.
Stabby Ronaldo
I don't get that reference.
from Futurama.
Oh yeah, the stab bot.
Yeah, the stab bot.
I love
Sorry.
Ronaldo, the stab bot.
Yeah.
But this guy is nowhere near as fun as that guy.
Okay, good.
His job is to. He is not a Starfleet officer. He is a Federation diplomat,
Oh God.
and his job is to
Jackwagon.
try to diffuse tensions and avoid this escalating into a war.
Wonderful.
And he and his about a dozen assorted
Attaché.
and functionaries and secretaries and peons
Yeah.
are currently in the USS Curie en route to Site A98.
Okay.
Additionally, there is you are escorting another person of interest. Her name is Akiko Fukuda, and she is a commander who was an XO during the Dominion War on the USS Kansas City. She has transferred from the red to the gold, and is now high-ranking in Starfleet security. She is accompanied by 7 beefy security specialists who are of grim and unapproachable demeanor. She is a very stern person who doesn't take any crap from anybody, and her job is to survey the situation and make sure that there isn't another Dominion that on the other side of this wormhole to cause a much worse situation. As far as she's concerned, the tensions between the Klingons and the Romulans are just another thing that making her job harder.
Okay.
She also advised for the Federation to deploy warships. This suggestion was recommended against by Ambassador Martin. And unfortunately, the Federation decided to take the ambassador's side. You and the Fahrenheit, which is another Intrepid class ship. Both of you are like the
Voyager.
The Voyager, yeah. With the opposable nacelles,
Yeah.
and the geometric warp dynamics, so you can do like almost warp 10.
Yeah. Skim speed. Yeah,
yeah.
I'm with you.
So you guys will represent the bulk of the Federation muscle that is being deployed to this task force. Not a lot, considering.
Sure.
On the other ship, which you're going to be rendezvousing, there are.
Gotcha.
They
Sorry.
are bringing some various scientists who are going there to study this potential wormhole or spatial anomaly, whatever it is. Among them are a former child prodigy. He's from Bajor. Oh no! But he is named Movim Nerek. Dr. Nerek, which is his last name, is a Cardassian who was an orphan left behind by the Gul Dukat regime.
Kill it dead.
And he was raised by Bajorans. But he had his first doctorate by 15. Came of age, after the Dominion War. He's only 20, but he is recognized. He has multiple degrees in high tech, sciencey, high level physics nonsense, subspace harmonics and things of that nature.
That's 20 years to alive for me.
He is recognized as the foremost expert in wormholes in the Alpha and Beta quadrants.
Okay, cool.
And
Interesting.
And the other person who is in tow on the Fahrenheit is none other than codename Heartbreaker.
What?
Yes,
They actually okay.
So so as it turns out, you guys. It turns out that this individual was a genetic sport of the Betazoid race. He has an inverted paracortex mutation that makes him not just the Betazoid is mad, but he is not just non-telepathic. He is actively resistant to telepathy.
He's like a hole in space.
It was actually one of the.
That's creepy as hell.
It is actually one of the criteria for Beta Z joining the Federation was to end discrimination against these afflicted with Gamma syndrome, the so-called Gammazoid, because they are essentially entirely immune to one of the Betazoid's primary senses. It's like meeting a person that you could hear and touch but not see. Betazoids are sensitive people.
It's like you're dead inside. I don't know.
Essentially they are entirely immune. They have less ability to broadcast their emotions and thoughts than an android.
Yeah.
They are actively resistant to telepathy. And so as such, historically, they have been heavily discriminated against. The Betazoids who, they've been working on it, but they're still unable to participate in their society or talk to people or have relationships.
Don't trust them.
It's like they live on the outskirts.
They probably make them wear a bell. Or like different things. Different societies have done different things. Because occasionally you get somebody who's born who's like just a statue. They say they have emotions, but you can't tell. Who knows what crimes they've been committing?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not like the Betazoids don't have an issue with getting got. Unfortunately, they're very sensitive people.
And it's like when your parents come home, or your significant other comes home, and they go, "Honey, I'm home." Like, you don't have to do that with a Betazoid because I know when you're in the house. Not so much with those people.
They sneak up on you.
Yeah.
And when I say those people, I mean you know exactly what I mean.
Yeah, they are still a mistrusted minority. Most betazoids have not encountered them because they tend to find their homes among other species. In this particular case, this man's name is Yan Damascus, and apparently, Dr. Damascus he found friendship among animals, which generally betazoids don't like because they find them they find the wild thoughts of instincts to be distracting, and they worry about being sucked in. But he got along well with animals. He left Beta Z and became an expert in large animal cloning. Set out to save species from extinction, whereas otherwise they would go, be lost to the universe at the hand of man or persons.
Okay.
Civilization. And basically the Klingons put him away for trying to clone tribbles. They were not a fan.
Oh, no.
But he just thought they were cute. He wanted to help.
They were until they eat all your food and you die of starvation.
I mean, I'd be pretty sad if my civilization were, my colony were destroyed by tribbles.
Yeah.
So
I'd be okay with it.
well, okay, yeah, you're just waiting for a Death Star to build. I know.
Oh.
We've got the Star Trek special effect soundboard.
Oh, sorry.
Well, we need to work on that. It is a necessity.
Got it.
The other thing is, but yeah, basically it is kind of weird because there's no good reason for Damascus to be on this mission at all. His specialty is cloning.
Not of this.
Nothing to do with wormholes whatsoever, which is a mystery.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting.
So where are we picking all these fruitcakes up from?
All right. Well, you are already
We're en route. All right.
You are already you've gone to Starbase whatever and picked up
5.
Indy.
yes Deep Space 5
Nice.
and
5.5.
and
9 3/4.
Deep Space 5 is the one that went missing, isn't it?
that was Babylon 4.
It was.
thing.
You're
Yes.
right. I'm sorry. I was going to say, was that Deep Space 4? No, it was Babylon 4.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, you've already picked up the ambassador and Commander Fukuda.
Okay.
And you are en route to rendezvous with Captain Whitaker and the USS Fahrenheit.
Okay.
So, all right. So, starting off, that is basically that would all be summed up in sort of the
The
Captain's
rolling
log.
trailer as the trumpets are playing? Or wait, is that Star Wars? Go ahead. the crawl in the front of the... Okay, sorry.
I hate you so much right
I
now.
know, isn't that great? O'Neill, what's our status? How soon until we rendezvous with the Fahrenheit?
3.5 hours, Captain.
All right, 3.5 hours later, you get a
Exactly. Wait, what just happened?
you get a you approach the the point where you were going to.
That was the best foreshadowing ever. I was pins and mother needles. Just saying.
He was like, well, we'll give some time for some... Okay, 3.5 hours later, we're good.
Give time for the title song. It's been a long walk. Oh,
Hit him.
Wham!
Getting from there. Anyway, keep going. That's
All right.
Ow! Stop that.
Good. Okay, carrying
All right.
on.
Suitable pain.
You can't do it to me.
I can too.
All right. So, you see there's another Intrepid class ship that is waiting for you there. And you are hailed by, with a friendly code greeting.
Okay.
It checks out as Federation.
Smiley
Okay.
face.
And
On screen.
on screen, there is a gray-haired, tough-looking guy sitting. He's wearing command red, sitting in a chair not unlike yours.
Captain Whitaker?
He says, "Captain Turnweather, it's good to meet you." And this is when I'm going to pull a thing here for your as a Betazoid, you are sensitive to to his thoughts and emotions. He has an intense envy, like an overpowering sense of just preoccupied thoughts regarding you and your ship. This guy is not your friend. He is obsessed with something to do with everything to do with the USS Curie.
Okay.
But he smiles in a toothy grin and says, "Oh, well, it's nice to be away from the Cardassian border. We have we've just been checked out from Deep Space Nine. We're here with the scientific complement. How are your lovely crew of diplomats doing?"
The diplomats are doing just fine, and we have a scientist or two of our own to add to this expedition. We have a wormhole specialist and a genetic animal lover.
He's the one with those guys.
Oh, he's the one with
He's
those
the one with they're bringing the scientists.
Oh, and I'm bringing purely the diplomats. I thought I was bringing both.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they've got the scientists, and you've got the diplomats.
Excellent.
And also the security team.
Our diplomats are doing just fine. We have a shiny, bright core of able-bodied discussionists and a security team to secure both ends of the wormhole if the scientists are able to do what they say they think they can do.
Okay, that's great news. We've got we've got an old friend here, and stepping onto the screen is none other than Yan Damascus. And he says, "Oh, you see, he has sort of a round face. He has the typical dark eyes of the Betazoids. Has sort of a very, a very mild demeanor. But you sense nothing. It might as well be a generated image." But he says, "Oh, Captain, I'm so grateful for you to have saved me from that Klingon prison. I'm very grateful. Thank you so much."
You're welcome, sir.
He says, "Oh, well, I just wanted to take the moment to say I'll be going now." And he sort of looks nervous and sort of shuffles back, kind of getting, looks like he's had this reaction several times in his life interacting with other Betazoids. Oh, Captain Turnweather is a Betazoid, in case we didn't establish that.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yes. He seems, outwardly, genuinely grateful. Great.
That could be a ploy.
You never know.
Well, at the very least, it's affected.
All of his emotions could be. He could be a zombie who's not even fully aware. You wouldn't know.
Exactly.
So
He could have been programmed to be gracious that he was saved.
and then
who knows?
Then you see on the bridge of the Fahrenheit, you notice that there are several identical men who also don't read. And at
Gold
all,
shirts?
they are each one of them is a slim, nondescript, pale-skinned man wearing a black jumpsuit, and Captain Whitaker says, "I see you've seen my new Maddox class androids. Made by Commander Maddox of Starbase 173. He's the one who wanted to take apart Data, R.I.P.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
Yes. And yes, this is let's see. This is Oin, Gloin, Nori, and Dory. The other 8 are still below decks. But the engineering team named them after dwarves from The Hobbit. They're very affectionate for them. But they're
For them, the dwarves, or them, the androids?
well, the androids, their AI is nominally non-sapient, but they're expected to learn.
Okay.
But they're looking at them, you see that these are not as advanced as a Sung type android. Their flesh doesn't look real. Each one is a moving store mannequin, basically. like very articulated. They've got all of the parts move, but they are not the flesh doesn't look real. It's extremely disconcerting.
Yeah, it's still a lot of uncanny valley going on there.
Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
Way more than with Data. They can't pass for human.
Okay, good.
Their chassis is based on a human.
Right, they're humanoids, but they're not human.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay.
He does have a few organic crew members as well. Okay. You see.
What's the tactical situation here, Captain?
Well, I think we should both go in, expecting the worst. Is my opinion. The Klingons are spoiling for a fight, and it wouldn't surprise me at all whatsoever if the Romulans try something. That's just my unofficial statement on the matter, of course.
Of course. How did your passenger fare with the Idrins in Idra 4?
Well, actually, we have a new transfer from Starfleet that is a lieutenant commander who has just been transferred to your ship. This is something. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention. Out of character.
Okay.
But yeah, you heard something that there was an Idran, an Idranian who was going to be transferred to he's a Starfleet officer and was going to be transferred to your to serve on the Curie.
Okay.
Which for the Idranians is a very big deal because you're the ship that saved their entire species from demise.
Okay. Good to know.
But yes, he should be beaming over momentarily. I'll let you get to that.
Okay, wonderful. Excellent. All right, then. Did you need anything else?
No, I think that will be all. We'll just we'll keep in touch, and if let us know if those diplomats give you a hard time. We can always house them over here for a while if they bother you.
Should be fine.
All righty. Well, it was good to meet you. Lie.
It was good to meet you.
And he says signing off.
And then we cut transmission.
Yeah. The okay. So one thing that I'm going to be doing, Scott, to reflect for you and also Kennedy, who's also playing a Betazoid, is I will be using thumbs up and thumbs down to indicate if somebody is lying, or other hand gestures at the table, so this doesn't interrupt the narration, and that's something that you can share.
Excellent.
During play.
Excellent. Okay. Wunderbar.
All right. So, okay. So you get a notice from your chief of security that they are
they're preparing to beam over the lieutenant.
Lieutenant Commander Tor Chalorn is reporting for duty.
What's the ranking? What's the rank of my science officer?
What is
Tassas?
What is Tassas's rank?
I have ComC Science Officer.
Let's see. Did you write anything under rank? I think you were a lieutenant commander.
That's what's written under rank.
Oh, okay.
Yay.
I abbreviated things and I don't remember.
All right.
Yay.
Yeah, you're a commander.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, come on, Troy was a commander.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah. You would outrank this guy.
Commander Tassas.
Yes,
And
sir.
what's O'Neill's rank?
Lieutenant.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. He's just been promoted in the. It was about 6 months ago that you guys did your thing.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Commander Tassas and Lieutenant O'Neill, can you go greet our new Idrinian in Transporter Room 2?
Yes, sir. Right away.
All right, you head down to Transporter Room 2, where you see that there is a tall, fair-haired man wearing command red in a Starfleet uniform. He has what looks like a bag.
And what's his rank again?
He is Lieutenant Commander.
Okay.
And he's sort of he is human in appearance,
okay,
generally, except for one arm has exaggerated, overdeveloped muscles. like bulging, squared off deltoid, huge bulging bicep, rippling forearm, and one, large hand. Two of his fingers have been fused together into what looks like a sharp claw.
Okay, I'll extend my right hand, saying, "Lieutenant Commander, it's a privilege to have you aboard, sir."
It's a pleasure to meet you, Lieutenant. But I'm
Lieutenant O'Neill.
Lieutenant O'Neill. Lieutenant O'Neill, it's good to meet you. I am Torchalorn of, it is a great honor for my people to be here on the, for me to serve on the ship that saved our people.
My right arm is extended for as long as he's talking.
Men shaking hands means something else for my species.
Oh.
But I appreciate that. I also waving, but I'll just we'll bow. How about that?
I retract my arm and say, "No offense given. I hope you accept that." And I'll give a slight bow.
Yes, but yes, it's yes. You saved the our species host cattle.
Oh yes.
We're very grateful.
I almost didn't make it out of that mission. So.
Yes, I'm aware of the sacrifices you made, and it's very the people of Idra 4 are eternally grateful for your sacrifice.
Lieutenant Commander, you can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs. So with everything said and done, I'll be fine. So pleasure to have you aboard, sir.
But yes, he says, well, I'm very eager to get to work, but I am going to be the night shift duty officer.
Understood.
When the captain or the XO aren't on the bridge, I'll be helping out.
Oh, and where are my manners? I need to introduce Lieutenant Commander Tassas. She is our science officer.
She's commander.
Commander.
Oh, I thought you were Lieutenant Commander. My bad. So, out of character. Commander Tassas.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you two.
It's wonderful to meet you.
So you see that he picks up one bag with his big meaty arm, and
is it an arm?
Well, actually, this is a point. Tassas can give me a reason plus science roll. Roll 2 d20s.
Can I borrow 2 d20s?
Jesus.
No, d20s.
I did.
Not you said Jesus.
Not deities.
Okay,
D20s.
so this is an opportunity to
4 and 1.
a 4 and 1. Okay, so you get that was a difficulty 0. You will generate 3. You've got 3 successes from that. Actually, do you have xenobiology as your?
I don't.
Okay, anything biology?
Nope. Botany and geology.
Okay, that's fine. But these chips, I'm putting 3 poker chips on the table. These will be your. Those are shared by the group, and you can spend those to gain extra d20s on crucial rolls.
Nice.
But yeah, that basically things like embarrassment or whatever are not really a factor for you as a Vulcan. But you know that the Adranians are unusual in that the claw is part of their reproductive cycle. Their pregnancies start normally. But all Adranians have a mating claw that is used to sting the cattle. The females have a longer spiker claw that transfers the embryo into the host cattle. And the males, like a fiddler crab on Earth, develop sort of a big impressive arm.
Yes,
that they
do.
used to.
So you just reached out your hand to grab his claw. Good answer.
Hey,
And in the mood you're in tonight, that fits perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
yes.
That's what
But
she
yeah,
said.
like a fiddler crab, it is used to attract for the males. It's used to attract mates. The claw is also venomous.
Ooh,
it
good.
can, it's used to sting the cattle.
They did worse.
in the
So
war,
you could have docked with his claw.
They did worse in Rome.
They did.
But yeah, and basically, while the Adranians are a species that are they can't hide their reproductive organs, so they are very candid in general about matters of machismo, attraction, stuff like that. Also, by the as a note, by the standards of beauty of his people, Lieutenant Commander Chalorn is quite a catch.
I like
He has a very
just crab and catch in the same
He has a very
description.
impressive stinger.
Yeah.
Yeah. So of course
Nice.
we're going to go right in for the innuendo.
There you go.
All right, but yeah, that is what the kind of game that this is going to be. We're going to have a little bit of
All right.
all right. And he'd be like, "What?" All right. Well, stop looking at my stinger.
Stop staring.
It's quite impressive.
Mm-hmm. All right, so the you guys proceed along to site A98. There is somebody on the ship. Give me a Scott. Give me a roll. This will be. I'm going to say insight plus command. Trying to make sense of.
How do you not have dice?
Insight plus command, right?
Yes.
No dice.
No dice.
So so what you're going to do is you're going to roll 2 dice,
Where
and
do I find insight at?
insight is in the middle of your attributes there. Under
Top row,
fitness.
bottom sight?
Bottom,
under,
yeah.
bottom, okay.
Yeah.
Insight plus what?
Insight plus command.
All right. And I got to roll under the...
Under the total.
Okay, I did not do that.
Okay. You have no idea what this guy's problem is.
Which guy?
The
guy?
other
Yeah.
captain. Captain Whitaker.
Yeah, Whitaker, he's
Dashel
just-
Whitaker. You
Well,
go-
that's probably the problem right there. If you got to go through school with a name like Dashel.
Is
Yeah,
his
he's-
middle name
By the way,
Forrest?
if you're a Dashel, don't email us. That was a joke.
But his space, he's a spaceman named Dash. He's okay. He does all right. He's from the Texas Climate Restoration Zone on Earth. You go through his information, and you see that this guy has he was a tactical officer during the Dominion War, given the captaincy within the last 5 years. But he has done a lot of intelligence work. A lot of his stuff is officially they're monitoring wormhole science in
Sure.
in the Alpha
Science?
Quadrant next to Bajor. But really, this guy has been the Fahrenheit has overbuilt set of communications arrays where they intercept. They do signal intelligence against the Cardassian Empire. This guy has probably done a lot of classified work.
Okay.
They are right on the border. They scan for stuff, and he must have some kind of weird security clearance. But you do know there's one person on the ship who has more clearance than you, and that is Commander Fukuda. And so she might know more about this guy.
Then I'm going to call her up to my ready room.
All right.
Yeah, you are.
Commander Akiko Fukuda shows up. She is, she's a stern, middle-aged woman of Japanese descent. She's from the Pacific Undersea Base on Earth.
Nice.
She was born in Sea Lab.
Nice. 2020. Commander Fukuda.
Captain, I'm very happy to be here.
Wonderful. Are your accommodations to your liking?
Yes, I'm hoping that this will. I'm hoping that this is going to be a. To be honest, I hope they don't find this stupid wormhole.
Why?
Because if there's, this whole thing, if this turns out to be a wild goose chase, some little blip in subspace, then all of these problems will just go away. I don't like it at all. The possibility of a war between the Romulans and the Klingons, well, that's one thing, but after the Dominion War following the Deep Space Nine incident of their wormhole opening, we'd all rather not see that happen.
Sure. If they do find it, do you think your complement will be sufficient enough to secure the two ends? For now, at least?
My job is entirely to analyze the situation.
Okay.
To, if necessary, I mean, you would, of course, have a very important role in first contact if we do encounter unidentified aliens from wherever it leads to.
Certainly.
But we would be in charge of analyzing the situation and then reporting any potential threats to this side of the galaxy back to the Federation.
Okay.
Where, as far as securing the wormhole itself, if there is one, unfortunately, Ambassador Martine shot me down when I requested 3 Galaxy-class ships to come along as muscle. It'll have to be the Klingons that do the securing.
Okay. Do you know Captain Whitaker?
Yes. When I was XO on the Kansas City, I worked with another ship under his command.
What do you think of him?
He's a she thinks she doesn't like him, but she says I think he's very professional. He's a good officer. He has a solid reputation for doing what it takes.
So that sounds like the window dressing for the correct thing to say.
She says, "Well, if you want me to speak freely, I will."
Please do.
I think that he is a little bit ruthless. I think that he is he's willing to make sacrifices that some of us might not be able to. That's and that has its role.
Sure. He hasn't, but he's done right by you?
He's always acted honorably. He's very attached to his crew and very very protective, and he has lost some in the past. It weighs heavily on him.
Interesting. For some reason, he does not like me.
Really? She thinks she starts to go through things in her mind, thinking about things, and then she has a moment of realization. I can't go into detail because it's classified information, but when you were in orbit of Rura Ganok, you made a command decision where you risked. You had the possibility of saving 6 lives by wagering 7, and your gamble paid off. He's been in a similar situation where he lost all of them.
Okay, that's good to know.
And this is something that is he considers a stain on his career, and it weighs heavily on his mind. Of course, he was found blameless. Just because everybody died doesn't mean that he
did something wrong. No,
yes,
not at
he
all.
did everything as Captain Picard has said. You can do everything right and still lose. That's life.
Yeah.
But there you go. I would try to stay on his good side. He has a certain. I can. Now he's of course cleared all of the psych evaluations and things like that, but I can see him having an emotional investment. Understood.
Well, thank you very much. If there's anything you need on the voyage, please feel free. My door is always open.
Yeah. She smiles. Well, if I end up punching the ambassador, I'll just try to do it not in front of a camera. How's that?
That would be nice.
And she says, "Oh, thank you, Captain."
Anytime. All righty. Our orders are to go into the wormhole area A98 and patrol, or
to rendezvous with the task force.
All right. Well, O'Neill, let's rendezvous us with the task force.
All right, Captain.
All right. You set your course for the perilous edge between 3 rival space powers.
Yeah.
It is
Warp 9.
So 3.5 hours later.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry.
2 hours, 15 minutes.
one screen wipe later.
Thank you.
The you guys appear, and Helm, Mr. O'Neill, give me a. This is going to be a sensor sweep
Okay.
of the area. Give me a roll for. This is going to be. I'm going to say control plus con.
What do I do to get one of these fancy character sheets with the colors other than pink?
14. All right, so
Well,
under 14.
You talked to Sass.
Rolled a 2 and a 20, so one of them has to be under?
All right.
Or they both do?
You get 2 successes for the 20 because you have a specialty in this.
Okay.
I thought he had to.
But
I thought he had to roll
I'm sorry
under.
for the 2. Excuse me.
Okay.
Yeah,
the
I-
20 gives me a point of threat.
Oh, no.
There you go. See.
You're a threat. Okay, so I got 1 success.
Red alert.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
2 successes in this case because you have a focus.
Okay, yeah.
All right. So you see that you're picking up a distress call.
Captain picking up a distress call.
On play it.
All right. It says it is from a Klingon warship saying, warning. There's an unidentified energy soliton that has appeared in the midst of the area. We are undergoing unusual subspace interference. Please take great care in approaching this area.
Your order, sir?
Red alert. Shields up.
Red alert.
All right, you guys arrive. Ooh, very nice.
Well, I've got the full. We got a
Yeah.
suite of. All right, sorry. Go ahead.
All right, you guys arrive moments later to a scene where there is a great deal of wreckage. There are no ships here.
To Sass, what the hell happened?
Also, looking around, you see that there is a glowing sphere about a mile in diameter, in the middle of Site A98. It is it looks kind of like a soap bubble. It's kind of iridescent. It's glowing.
Oh yay! And O'Neill, keep your distance to Sass. Tell me what that is and where the Klingons are.
I put it on screen. So.
Yeah. Okay. You're taking readings and things like that. So now we're going to. Okay. So basically, it looks like all of the ships are just gone. There is a little bit of wreckage, a couple of pieces.
All of the ship. This was a task force.
Yes, there were multiple ships here. The Klingons had at least 5 warships. They were a little cagey. They often kept them cloaked.
Sure.
And the lead ship for the Federation was the USS Vigilance.
Okay, of the Klingon contingent, were there any D4s, D7s, or D10s?
I believe they were. These would be the mid-range. They were. I'm trying to remember the different classifications.
D7s?
D7s.
Okay. D7s is still formidable. A couple of birds of prey, probably some 2 or 3 D7s. That's some whoop ass in a bottle. That's not like, oh well, we had some runabouts. Like, no.
You're getting multiple hails, subspace hails that are. You see that they are Federation, like Federation and Klingon signals.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to give my science officer some time to look in her little box with the blue light.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll say, Captain, we have a number of hails coming in from both Federation and Klingon warships.
What is your job to repeat what the computer says? No.
Oh, was the computer say that? Or did he say that?
Yeah. Oh, well,
Galaxy Quest?
okay,
I can
so
mark
you're,
that off early.
Yes. No, I didn't know it was a computer.
no, that's fine.
No, I'm teasing.
But you're, but yeah, one of the ensigns says, "Oh, well, I'm trying to respond to the hails, but just come in again.
Did you make Nintendo thumbs right then and there? Was that what you did? Okay. Okay.
tapping
He
his
did,
touch
though.
screen.
I thought it was like
Totally
playing
did.
PlayStation.
See, we need video.
I know.
It'll
I'm
make
working on it.
make tracking how many chips we've got in our momentum pool.
Yes.
much easier.
Okay, so essentially, well, he says the hails are just repeating, sort of at random. They're the signals from the ships, but they're coming from the anomaly.
I'm looking down the table at you, Tissass.
All right, so
This is where you get to do
Scanning.
talking. Oh, okay.
So, Commander Tissass, give me. Okay, so there is an entire section of this game based on the scientific method for identifying and coming up with ideas that regard problems, the weird glowing blue thing out in space, trying to identify what it is. And so this is an important part of the Star Trek Adventures role-playing game that involves.
I did not know.
Yes, this will involve the whole table. So, so basically,
joy.
step one is observation of the scientific method. You give me insight plus science to take some
Science?
readings.
Inside. Okay, 9 and science is 5.
So you need 14s
Or below, right?
or below. Yes, if you get below your total, then that is a success. A 1 is always 2 successes, and a 20 is a complication.
Okay.
Am I just rolling 1?
Roll 2 d20s, please.
13 and 16.
Okay, so you've got 1 success. The difficulty there was 1. You see that these signals, based on what you've determined so far, you're fairly certain that this is like a recording that's being played back or something like that, an echo of these signals that is coming out of this ball. But it's not. You're pretty sure that it's not from the ships themselves. It doesn't seem. I mean, it doesn't seem like somebody's just pushing the button to say "hail," to send the greeting over and over again. It's like what they would be doing amongst themselves if they were actually here. But it's like it's being recorded.
It's like a subspace loop.
Yeah, it's just like somebody. It's like somebody's playing back the just their ringtones over and over again.
So it's just a repeat.
Yeah, it's and it's sort of at random. It's like pling. It waits. It does it's like it's just sending out the general signals that would start any communications over and over again. So this is an opportunity for you guys to, if you want to make some rolls to maybe gain some more momentum.
Yeah, what do we do? Start rolling.
So basically any kind of things you want to try out to look for. If you can justify a combination roll, probably science.
I was going to say,
But it
Captain.
can be anything.
Captain, can I try to maneuver us closer to the entity, or is that ill-advised?
For now, keep your distance. I want to do a scan of the wreckage, see how those ships were disposed of.
Okay.
All right, Jackson, give me a roll. We're going to say that this is going to be based off your insight plus con.
Okay.
Because you are familiar with starship wreckage. This is knowing about the function of starships and given how many ships would be here. You've been in a few space battles. You know what to look for.
Okay. Insight 10, con 5.
All right, so pretty good rolls.
13 and a 19.
All right, so you've got 1 success there. All right, so actually, difficulty for these is generally 0. So you're gonna have 2 chips added.
Okay.
One from her roll, 1 from yours. Based on your experience as a pilot, You've been through a few space battles. There is not enough wreckage, even if the ships were fully disintegrated, to account for all of those ships blowing up. It means that they didn't just get destroyed here; they have gone somewhere.
Gotcha.
Like maybe they left the site, or maybe maybe something weird happened, but they did not blow up here.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Sir?
Yes.
Not making a lot of sense, meaning that there should be a lot more wreckage here,
What if they were disintegrated?
even if they were completely annihilated, these 10 so ships, whatever, there would still be more here.
Also, there's no residual phaser or disruptor beam radiation.
No residual effects from phasers, from photon torpedoes, anything used. So something else did this. This wasn't a war.
I need long-range scans then. I want to know where those ships are.
Understood? Long-range scans?
Basically, you look around and you see that there's nothing in this sector. There's also you are an experienced pilot. You know all about tracking something by its warp trail that it leaves behind. They did not leave by warp. Okay. And if they'd left by impulse, they would still be visible going at sublight speeds. They wouldn't have got out of like Earth's.
They wouldn't have gotten out of short range, let alone long range.
Exactly. So even there's no sign of them leaving by warp, and there's no sign of them crawling away slow.
To SAS, suggestions, thoughts?
Oh, so you just take that.
Yeah, you don't have to repeat everything I tell you. If you don't want.
I was going to
That's
say,
where I'm struggling.
I'm a wonderful parrot.
Sir, perhaps continued scanning. The hailing is coming from within the object, but it's more of a repetition than actual ships.
O'Neill, suggestions, thoughts?
Long-range scans are totally empty, sir. There's no.
So where did the ships go?
Give me
No idea.
actually, this is a new new development. Give me a roll for sensors plus. Let's see. It would be. I'm going to say that this is going to be insight plus security for O'Neill.
Okay. 14. 9 and 15.
All right, you're picking up neutrinos. This generally indicates a cloaked ship.
Yeah, sir. Only thing I'm bringing up are neutrinos, so something might be cloaked out there. There's nothing else.
Hail the Klingons and prepare a graviton beam to flood the area.
All right, Captain.
All right,
To SAS, hail the Fahrenheit, please.
Hailing the Fahrenheit.
All right. You see that they have also gone to red alert.
Good.
You see that they've also been taking readings. I think Captain Whitaker is standing up, pacing back and forth. He says, "I think it's the Romulans."
I'm having O'Neill prepare a graviton beam in case that cloaked ship is Romulan and we need to flush them out. What do your scientists say about that bubble? Is that the wormhole?
There is on the bridge a young Cardassian man. You see that he is dressed like a Bajoran, but he is not wearing the Japag thing.
The earrings.
The earrings. He's not wearing the earring.
Oh.
But he is, he's dressed in civvies.
Bajoran civvies?
Bajoran civvies, a terrible
that
jumpsuit.
wonderful brown on brown with a vest. Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
He says, how do you do, Captain? It's not a wormhole. I can tell you that.
Okay, good to know.
So he's on our bridge. He's not.
No, he's on there.
the Fahrenheit's bridge.
Nice.
Says, I think that whatever it is some kind of space-time aperture, maybe. At least that's what I think happened to the other ships.
Great.
I think they found what they were looking for, but it's he points at the he gestures off into the middle distance. That is not the entrance to a wormhole.
Okay.
All right. So this is a point at the in the game, which is called Step 2. You make hypotheses around the table, and whoever has the you at this point, I'm going to say that this is going to be. It's not medicine. It's not engineering. It is a science problem.
All right.
Okay.
So whoever has the highest rating in science becomes the
Like I
lead,
even need to look that up.
the lead researcher.
I have a 5.
The research lead. So you will be making all of the rolls for this.
What is this Sky NC? The Sky NC that I don't even.
I can't.
I don't know what the nerds do.
I
I don't
can't
one
have-
in science.
You can't have
Science.
You know
Science?
You know basically enough what what you can either talk to or mate with or fight. That's
Right.
Your job as a
Sky
captain.
NC. That's what I was.
Yeah.
Science.
I mean, a captain has to. Everybody gets their basic curriculum.
Sky NK. I get.
You know
don't
enough to nod when your engineer tells you that the ship is going to blow up, and he might be lying depending on what you have to roll for your daring.
That the power conduits need to be turned off and back on. I get it. I hear what I'm saying. I hear it.
So the way that this works.
Did you unplug it from the wall and plug it back in?
Could be.
So the way that this is an actual system on page 157 of the core book, which
Do I
I
have
have
to
in
write
front of
down
me.
page 127?
No, you don't.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So basically, you guys are can gather some more information if you want to if you have ideas. But at this point, if you want to start throwing out ideas of what it could be,
Okay.
those become like a hypothesis. The research lead picks like a couple of those to pursue, and you offer them up to me. You sum them up. These guys will come up with ideas, and you come up with ideas. Once you're done, you tell me what you think they are. If one of your ideas is close, or dead on, then we continue. I don't tell you which one, but you continue on to testing. Trying to figure out what to do next.
Okay.
If none of the ideas are even close, then I gain 1 threat, and you go back to the drawing board.
Jesus. Right. So what do we know?
Doesn't matter what we know. What do we think?
Well, we need to know what we know so we can tell you what we think.
We know there's wreckage. We know there's a soap bubble of doom. We know there's a neutrino trail, which suggests Romulan.
Well, it suggests a cloaked ship. It doesn't have
It
to be
suggests a cloaked ship, correct.
All right. At this point, you see that the captain of the Fahrenheit sends you a message. It says, I'm going to try sending a general hail. They might respond.
Hold that thought.
Yeah.
Hold on just a sec. One moment, please.
Of course.
What I think is, I'm going to mute him or whatever, I don't know. I think the Romulan attacked the Klingon. That's where the wreckage came from. I think the warp core breach, there was a potential warp core breach in the exploding ship that was too close to the anomaly in A98 that caused or fueled this bubble, which the Bajoran says is a time-space rupture. I think there is a Romulan out there, and I think letting him hail them might be good. But I think that's my hypothesis here.
Mine is Romulan science experiment gone awry.
Oh, I didn't even think about that one. What do you got to Sass?
So I got
Tawawas.
yeah.
Space-time anomaly. We're hearing sounds from a previous event, and that's why most of the wreckage is cleared.
Then the other ships are in the bubble?
Yeah. Well, acting more as an amplifier from the other
Wherever
side.
they are? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there's some more developments. I think I pushed you into this too soon, so I'm going to have a couple more things happen.
Damn it, John.
So, but we can keep. You guys have the spirit of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I like it a lot
Yeah.
because it gives you an opportunity to like spec out an episode or 3 and then let you build up to like,
Yes.
okay, well, let's hear. We think it's this. And then it's like, oh, here's the twist. I go ahead and signal him to go ahead with his general hail.
All right. He sends out the general hail.
I know who's going to be on that mother ship.
All right. There is a okay, at this point he sends out a general hail saying, we know you're out there.
Hey, Romulans, come on out.
And
All y'all oxen free.
and it is not a warbird that decloaks.
Oh, wow.
For the first time, is like you've not seen a non-Romulan warship. I mean, a non-warship Romulan vessel.
Right.
You have a general hail that comes out. It says that this is a science vessel. It is a smaller, sort of like it looks. It's green. It has this sort of Romulan shape with the sort of wraparound.
It is not a Romulan warbird.
It is not a warbird.
It is a nerd bird.
A nerd. Yes, it says
I get
that you are being hailed by Captain Canestra of the Watchful Owl.
Nice.
Who?
Yeah.
Hey,
Watchful
give a hoot.
Oh.
Ah.
But the image pops up, and there is a woman of
Wait, what did you say? Who was the person that hailed us back?
Captain Canestra of the Watchful
I thought
Owl.
you said Castrol. I was
Of
like,
the-
what?
of the
Canestra.
Cholesterol.
Gotcha.
of the Whispering Canyon. What?
But
Of the hooting owls.
John's gonna kill us.
oh my God! All right. But on the screen there is an elderly woman of regal demeanor. She has white hair that's done up in sort of a beehive with some spikes through it. She's a Romulan, and she is smoking what appears to be a green cigarette in a very long, spiky cigarette holder.
And what color is the hair?
White.
White.
He said that.
Yeah. Or, she has. Oh, I'm sorry, silver.
Silver.
But she is a woman of advanced age. She says, "I am." She says with a sort of a raspy, deep voice. She says, "I am Captain Canestra of the Watchful Owl. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. You would be members of the task force, I'm assuming."
What does Whitaker say?
Whitaker says, "State your business here. We are. I am Captain Dash Whitaker of the USS Fahrenheit, and this is Captain Turnweather of the USS Curie. State your business here. You are outside of Romulan space." And she says, "Well, we are a science vessel, of course, and we arrived after receiving a distress call. We've been taking readings, and it seems that everybody's gone."
Is she Kermit the Frog?
She has sort of a raspy voice. She's like, "Yeah, I'm really
I love it.
Yeah."
She sounds like Animal.
She says, "Oh, aren't you both handsome? If I were only 70 or 80 years younger."
do or do not. There's no try.
We're gonna do.
Yeah, twice.
Oh.
Hopefully get near. That'd be cool.
What do you guys want?
But she says, "But
How's Captain Envy feeling?
he is deeply suspicious."
Yeah, the Romulan. Duh.
But he his appraisal is that this person herself is not terribly threatening. She says, "Of course, of course, I can neither confirm nor deny that I have several warbirds here keeping me safe," which is a lie.
Okay. I look over and as though I'm reading the neutrino fields, and I hit the button to unmute. Mm-hmm. And you said it was Canestra? Canestra. Did she say her rank?
She's captain.
Captain. Captain Canestra. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Captain Turnweather. While our sensors indicate that your neutrino output is not sufficient to have a number of warbirds protecting you. You can consider yourself well protected with the 2 Intrepid class ships that are here, and wish to come to the aid and understanding of the situation we have in front of us. Given that you've been here longer than we have, would you care on sharing any of your readings and research of what you might have found before we got here?
Oh, you're so well spoken and gracious. I do appreciate that, Captain Turnweather. She says, I am able to say that there was a sphere that expanded outwards, a wave that we observed on our approach that swallowed the ships, and they disappeared. It's like the bubble got bigger, and then it contracted, and then when it was gone, there were no ships.
Is the bubble still there on sensors?
Yes.
Okay. Is it still a mile wide?
Yes, it is the same.
Okay, it hasn't it's not shrinking. It's not. Okay.
It is exactly the same. She says it was not the same as that bubble. It was like a field that came out.
Excellent. Thank you.
But I believe the ships were they were intact when we some of them seem to sustain damage from the field.
Interesting. I hit mute. O'Neill, do a scan for neutrinos. I want to see if there was more than one cloaked ship here, Romulan in nature. She might have had a warbird with her, actually. I want to make sure it wasn't sucked up by that thing.
Scanning now, sir.
Interesting. Well, we can share our long and short range scans with you if you'd be willing to share some data with us.
8 and 19.
She says, I would be much appreciative of such a thing. That is very gracious of you. We'll send it over right away.
I will have our Vulcan science officer do the same.
How quaint.
Bloop.
So what?
There was definitely a Romulan ship here, other than hers.
So there's probably enough neutrinos to say there was one other ship here,
But
Romulan
not anymore.
ship, but not anymore.
Okay. You can give me Turnweather, give me a presence plus command roll to make nice with the Romulan lady.
What are you looking for?
Can I borrow some dice?
2d20s.
You're a horrible nerd. You
I
don't
am.
have
I'm
dice.
a terrible nerd. I don't have with me.
I
can bust my dice out of my.
I got extra dice if you need
I can
them.
bust my dice out of the bag. No, that's all right. That's all right. No, I
Yeah,
like
I'll take a
bugging-
set so I can stop borrowing Paul Bunyan's.
Hey,
Hey.
What am I rolling?
I was gonna say if I'm Paul Bunyan, what the hell's my
2d20s,
ox?
please.
But what's my? What am I rolling against?
Presence plus command. Your strong suit.
Nice. Okay, I got 17 is my thing. I rolled an 11 and a 14.
All right. So none of your specialties will come into play.
Why? What are my specialties?
Well, I mean, because you have to roll under your discipline for that to happen. So
I got to roll under my. Oh, okay.
5 or
oh,
less.
okay. Gotcha. I'm hearing what I'm hearing.
Whoa.
Woo! Nice one.
all right. So okay. You know, put on your best face and
I like her.
I thought you were gonna
show your dimples and your teeth. And you're like, hey.
Captain Turnweather is not against a silver fox. That's all I'm saying.
I swear to God, when he said you're going to put on, I swear to God, he was going to say pants.
Oh,
not for her.
Pants are for peasants.
No pants party. You're
but
invited.
but basically she says, oh, she kind of like, is she waves the smoke away from her space cigarette, which she's she flicks the ash off, and she says, well, so you're the one who crossed Governor Larat. There's a lot of stories about that.
Oh, do tell.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, excuse me. I'm losing her voice.
Smoke more.
Smoke. It's like Lauren Bacall.
Yeah, Lauren Bacall. Well, of course, Lorat was stationed in a very peripheral sector to govern, and we'll be honest, if his ass wasn't sweeter than Cardassian Canar syrup, he would be out the airlock a while ago.
Well, I almost blush to think that what I did, but in a way, I'm not sad at all.
Well, the problem is that the Tal Shiar took notice, and as it just so happens, there are a few ways to get around someone of your talents as a psionically sensitive captain. One way is all-consuming hatred, so they ruined his career and busted him down to captain. And he's perfectly aware that they did this just to have a weapon against you, but it worked.
Well,
Yes.
it's good to have friends and sometimes better to have enemies.
Well, I'm not fond of Captain Lorat, and would I'm very sympathetic to your situation.
Why, thank you.
But so just keep that in mind. But he will be arriving not too far from the future. He has already been after the incident that was picked up. The Empire will be dispatching warbirds to make sure that this doesn't represent a threat on the par with the Dominion.
Well, then we should find your missing ship and our missing ships. So
I quite agree. We will be. She gestures to someone just off camera. We will be sending over our entire sensor log of the area.
wonderful. Good. We will await that.
All right. So we are at
An hour 15.
hour 15. So let's.
Yeah.
So we're going to call this the end of the episode while you guys think about what's going on.
No cliffhanger ending?
Well, I mean,
Well, we're gonna get the sensor logs done. Dun dun.
Oh, actually-
I guess.
actually-
Oh, actually, thanks, dork.
the sensor.
Why am I a dork?
It turns out that you do pick up. The warbirds are coming, and they're not even cloaked.
The warbirds
Oh,
are coming.
great.
The warbirds are coming.
How many? Okay, your sensor goes. Bling.
Yep,
Go
there
ahead,
are.
look at him.
They'll be
jerk
here.
face.
They'll be here in a matter of hours. You have time to.
And you know
come
how
up with your
fast
plan.
3.5 hours went last time, jerk face. Ask how many there are.
How many are there?
There are a total of 5 big green ugly warbirds.
Those are
They're
beautiful
not.
warbirds.
They're not even cloaked. They just want you to see.
They're coming to kill.
So what that means is there's 5 of them that aren't cloaked.
That's true. 5 of them aren't cloaked.
Great.
Yay!
And that'll do us tonight for Gaming with Scott. Thanks for asking for the cliffhanger, jerk face.
We
Yeah.
all need cliffhangers.
Yeah, that's
Give me a cliffhanger.
Alrighty, great. And as always, you'll hear from us real soon.
Bye.
That'll do us tonight for Star Trek Adventures. You can send us an email at feedback@gamingwithscott.com. John Garlick is at JPMGarlic. Jay Duguay is at @1_nerdy_mama. John Kennedy is at JKMyth. And me, Scott T, is at GamingWScott. This is a Southgate Media podcast. As you boldly go through your life, remember to make the galaxy a better place than it was yesterday. And as always, you'll hear from us real soon. Bye.